Hi everyone, we are here with Peter Bell, Vice President of Autism Speaks at this year's IMFAR. Thanks for joining us, Peter.
Hey Alex, good to see you. How are you doing?
So what is exciting about this year's IMFAR?
Well, first of all, it's been 10 years since this meeting started. I actually have come to every one of these meetings in the last 10 years, including the very first one, which happened to be a satellite meeting to the Society for Neuroscience, and it was here in San Diego, so it's very fitting that we're back here in San Diego 10 years later. I think
This is the first location of IMFAR, the first city.
This was the original city, that's exactly right. So this is actually the first time we have come back to San Diego since it started a decade ago. And I think the most obvious thing is just the size of the meeting. There are almost 2,000 people here this week who have committed their careers to autism research. And when it first started, there were barely 200. So there's been a tenfold increase, obviously, in the number of people who are looking into understanding this condition better.
That's amazing.
It is. It really is amazing. And so, it's only just the first day, but it's tremendously exciting to see and to honestly feel there's a palpable sense that some really important things are starting to break on this condition.
At this IMFAR, what's one research study that you're very interested in, that you think has a lot of potential?
Well, I don't know if I've had a chance to look at it all yet. I would say the things that I'm personally probably most interested in are things that have to do with either adolescents or adults with autism. As you know, I have an 18-year-old son with autism, and so as we're starting to head towards adulthood, I guess you could argue that he's already an adult, a young adult, it's going to be very important that we understand what autism is like and how it affects people as they age out of childhood and into adulthood. So that's probably the area that I'm paying the most attention to this week.
What are you hoping to see?
Well, I'll be very simple. I'm hoping to find things that will be helpful for kids or adults like my son. Yes, it's wonderful to look at the science and to understand the biology of autism, but as a parent who goes home every day and lives with autism, I want to be able to find research that's going to help us be better parents and to allow my son to live a better quality of life.
Your role at Autism Speaks, how has it changed since you first became vice president?
Well, I'm technically an executive vice president. I oversee our family services and government relations divisions. In family services, our mission is to improve the life and quality of life for those that are living with autism today. I think the biggest change that we've incurred there is that we're seeing autism across the lifespan, from the time a child gets diagnosed, maybe even before they're getting diagnosed, to the time that they become adults. And we're trying to improve and develop resources for families so that they can help their children live up to their potential and to have a meaningful life as possible. So we're putting a lot of effort into understanding what can and should happen when children become adults with autism. In terms of government relations, a big part of our focus has been insurance reform. We have now successfully been able to pass laws in 26 states that require health plans, insurance companies to provide coverage for the treatment of symptoms related to autism. It's great, you're right, but we have still half the country, at least half the country, that doesn't have access to that. So we're working very hard towards that end.
What do you see the future of Autism Speaks being? Where do you want research to go more towards? I know you sort of answered the question, but it's just sort of as an organization,
Sure.
What are you hoping for?
I think as an organization, we want answers. I think parents and families want answers. There are some people who truly want to understand the underlying biology of autism so that they can improve it and allow their loved ones to live a more enriching life. There are obviously people that are on the spectrum that have very good lives and can be quite independent, and you're a great example of that. That being said, there are others who have significant challenges.
Sure.
And I think we want to do science that allows us to understand the condition better so that we can improve and quite honestly minimize the suffering as much as possible. And so, that's what I think we all want. Some of us have been at this for a very long time. My son was diagnosed when he was 3 years old, so it's been 15 years. And, he's on the dawn of adulthood. And, he's made a lot of good progress, but he's also going to probably require significant supports throughout most of his life.
Do you think your focus at least has changed as he's grown up?
There's no question. Absolutely. I think we're much more comfortable with the fact that he will live with autism for most of his life, and what we are focused on doing is trying to make that life as best as possible. We have high expectations for him. He's a wonderful child who I think has a lot to give back. Over the last year, he has developed a really wonderful interest in art. He may be an artist someday. We're seeing if that's what he wants to do, but it's starting to become more clear about how he not only can do things that would be beneficial for himself, but also do things that will help other people and to make them recognize his talents and really just contribute to society in general.
How old is he?
He's 18.
Oh, great. All right. Well, thank you so much, Peter. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Always good to talk to you, and thanks for all that you do. We really appreciate it. We really are grateful that you're here taking the videos and talking to our people, and look forward to seeing it on your website.
And I look forward to doing some more future events with you guys.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thanks, Alex.